Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how to sell your couponing stockpile on eBay. I started selling my stockpile, the items that I coupon for, on eBay in February of 2022. So I'm approaching 2 years as an eBay seller, and since then I have gotten tons of sales on eBay, and I've actually become a top rated seller on eBay. Currently, I sell all items that are mouthwash, body wash, sized and smaller on eBay, and then things that are larger or things that sell for super cheap and are bulky, like cleaning supplies, laundry supplies, and paper products, I sell on Facebook Marketplace for local pickup. If you also want to get started selling on eBay, the first step is to create an eBay seller account. So you're just going to go to the eBay site, create your account. If you need help with that or creating listings or doing anything at all on eBay, there are tons of how-to videos on YouTube. Just search for what you're looking for, and there will be someone who has a how-to step-by-step video on how to do it. Once you have your eBay account created, the first important thing to know is what your listing limit is. I know when I first created my eBay seller account, I had never sold anything before on eBay. My account was brand new, so I had a 5-item listing limit. The reason why eBay does listing limits for new sellers is because they want to vet out the seller to make sure that they are actually selling what they say that they're selling. You're shipping what's pictured. You don't have any issues with your shipping or the product that's received by the customer, making sure that you have good shipping and handling time. Overall, they just want to make sure that their customers have good experiences buying on their site and making sure that you are a trusted seller before they increase the amount of items that you're able to list on eBay. There is a little bit of strategy that should go into what your first listings are going to be. Since you have such a small listing limit, you want to get those items sold as quickly as possible so that eBay increases your listing limit and you're able to really get started making money. I'll tell you right now that my first listings, at least a few of them, I actually lost money on. The reason why is because the eBay algorithm is really going to favor top rated sellers, people who have tons of sales, people that have lots of 5-star reviews, etc. So when you're brand new, the eBay algorithm isn't going to favor you. So what you want to do is give a price advantage so that your items sell quickly, and then you're able to get more listings, more sales, more reviews, and then you gradually get more favorable and more favorable in the eBay algorithm, so you're getting way more sales. So for the strategy of your first listings, I'd recommend listing the items for super cheap so that when people are looking, yours is the cheapest option and they sell really quickly. Once you make 2 or 3 sales, your eBay listing limit should go up once your customers receive the items that you sold and they don't have any issues with them. People start giving you 5-star reviews and you'll be able to list tons more items. The thing that people are probably most interested in with selling on eBay is the pricing strategy. So my general rule of thumb is I take what the Walmart or the Target price is for an item or a group of items, and then usually I will deduct about 10%. Now I give free shipping on all of my listings, so I make sure that with the price that I'm selling for the item, after all of the shipping label costs and the eBay fees, that I'm going to be making the profit that I want. In order to be able to price items, you need to understand the eBay fees as well as how much it's going to cost to ship your item. So let's start off talking about the shipping label fees. I do all of my shipping labels within the eBay platform itself. You are able to add a tracking number from USPS, UPS, or FedEx from outside of eBay that you bought on websites like Pirate Ship, Stamps.com, etc. There's various websites that you can create shipping labels from, and sometimes they are cheaper than eBay, but in general, it's much easier just to stick to the eBay integrated shipping platform. A common misconception about pricing on eBay is that things are 50 to 75% off of the original price at, let's say, Target or Walmart on eBay. That is definitely a huge misconception. eBay is not like a garage sale where you're selling things for dirt cheap or people are getting a huge discount. That's really not the case. People are very used to paying close, if not more, than the price that an item sells for at Target or Walmart on eBay. So if someone is getting a 10% discount plus free shipping from the Walmart price, let's say, they are very happy to get that price. Also, people will make offers on your listings. So let's say that they're only willing to pay 20% of what you had it listed for. They can make you an offer that you can either accept, decline, or counter offer. So there is a bargaining aspect to it. I do all of my listings as the buy it now pricing method, which is where the buyer will just pay a set price or they can make an offer on my listing. I don't do any auctions. People can make offers on your buy it now price. So let's say I price something for $15.99. People might offer me $14.99 and I can either accept, decline, or counteroffer. The first thing that you need to understand when deciding how to price your item is what all of the fees are going to be to sell that item. The first thing that you need to know are the eBay fees. The eBay fees can change over time, but as of right now, for the beauty and personal care category, the eBay fees are going to be 30 cents per listing. So that's a flat rate fee of 30 cents, as well as 13.25% of the total sale. So if you're selling something for $15.99, it would be 13.25% of that plus 30 cents. The second fee that's going to come out of the revenue of your sale before you can actually have the profit is the shipping label. So I ship all of my items as USPS, United States Postal Service, just because it really is the cheapest option. Most of my items are less than a pound. So for less than a pound, it's going to ship USPS Ground Advantage. There's 4 different steps of the USPS Ground Advantage pricing for items that are under a pound or items that are under a pound. The first category is 0 to 4 ounces, then 4 to 8 ounces, 8 to 12 ounces, and 12 to 16 ounces. So each one of those is going to be a different level of pricing, and it can vary slightly just depending on where you are located and where your buyer is located. After doing this for so long, I'm kind of able to tell like how much something is going to weigh, or I can weigh it on my scale before I price it, and then I'll just deduct what I know that the shipping label is going to be, so I can kind of rack my brain of how much that I should charge for it. Usually if I'm pricing things 10% less than the Walmart or the Target price, I end up being okay with the profit that I'm making, and the items end up selling fairly quickly, so they're not sitting in my inventory for months to years. For USPS Ground Advantage, for items under 1 pound, they don't care what size the packages that you ship in, they only care what the weight is, again being those 4 weight range categories. Usually for USPS Ground Advantage, I'm shipping in a poly mailer, so either one of these small ones or one of these bigger ones. I'm gonna have both of these linked in my Amazon storefront under supplies for selling your stockpile, which I'll have in the description box down below. These are really good because they range between 0.3 and 0.7 ounces, so they really don't add to your weight. You have to understand that the weight range that you're saying that your product weighs on eBay has to include all of the packaging, including the poly mailer, the label, and your tape. The second shipping method that I use really frequently is USPS Priority Flat Rate mailing supplies. Those are free. You can go to your local post office and ask them for them. They're free. The reason why they're free is because the cost of the packaging is built into the flat rate label price that you're paying. So my most common priority mail shipping method that I use is the flat rate envelope. As of right now in October 2023, this costs $7.60. And you can fit quite a bit in here. So if my item weighs above a pound and is no longer going to qualify for the USPS Ground Advantage between 0 and 16 ounces, and it fits within this is probably going to be the cheapest method. It's probably going to be even cheaper than the Ground Advantage for above 1 pound. For USPS Ground Advantage above 1 pound, it goes by size, dimensions of the package you're shipping in plus weight. And usually it starts around $8 and it quickly increases from there. So this is usually the best option at $7.60. And it doesn't matter if this is bulging with a bunch of stuff in it. It does not matter. As long as it closes and it fits within this, it ships for $7.60. And my second most frequently used USPS Priority Mail flat rate shipping method is the padded flat rate envelope. This is quite a bit bigger than the flat rate envelope. And since it's padded, it provides a little bit more protection. It bends and stretches a lot more. I find that I can fit like 4 shampoos and conditioners in here pretty snugly for only $8.30. So this is another great method. All of my listings on eBay have free shipping. So I just make sure, again, that with the price of the item after seller fees and my shipping method, I'm okay with the profit that I'm taking away. Another thing that you need to keep in mind with your pricing is that you're also paying for things like tape and poly mailers and your printer ink and your paper. So those are all things that you have to think about into your pricing strategy. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is you are going to have to pay taxes on your eBay earnings. Starting in 2023, if you're making $600 more profit in a year, you do receive a 1099K form. Back in 2022, it was $20,000 profit. So that's a huge jump from 20,000 to 600. So keep that in mind. You will receive a 1099K form that you will have to file. If you're struggling with what to price something, I would recommend just searching eBay for the item that you're selling and trying to match what most other people are selling it for. The pricing gets much, much easier as you go on and you see what the shipping costs, and you can kind of estimate the eBay seller fees. I've gotten so much better at it over time. To dive a little bit more into shipping, the great thing about shipping with United States Postal Service, USPS, is that not only is it almost always the cheapest, especially for items under like 8 to 10 pounds, but you can also schedule pickups for USPS, so you don't even need to go into the post office if you don't want to ship your items. You can also order your priority mail flat rate shipping supplies from USPS.com. They don't charge you anything. It's completely free and it'll get delivered to your door. For shipping, I really recommend to always make sure you are using enough tape to reinforce your packaging supplies. So usually with the flat rate envelope, for example, it's usually bulging out because I'm putting, let's say, like 2 bottles of a personal care product in here. So I always make sure that I apply tape along the seams to make sure that it doesn't burst open during shipping. Also, speaking of anything liquid, I always make sure I take a piece of tape and tape the cap down really nice so that it does not start leaking in transit. I have had a couple of times that things have leaked in transit, but I have shipped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of packages with liquid in them. So to only have like 2 times that something leaked is pretty good. So just putting a piece of tape on the top of the lid just really will prevent that from happening to you. For shipping labels, I just have a Brother black and white toner printer that I print my shipping labels on, and then I cut them out and just tape them to my package. You can get a shipping label printer. I might upgrade to that eventually as my eBay business continues to grow, but for now, I am very happy with the price of the toner and the paper that I use, and I don't mind cutting out my labels and taping them. I try to keep my processing time under 3 days. You can set your processing time within the eBay site. So let's say you need 5 days between the time that a person orders to the time that you ship. You can set that, but I would recommend having the smallest handling time as possible and going to USPS or having USPS pick up your packages as frequently as possible, because people really appreciate that fast shipping and handling time. Again, all of the shipping supplies that I use, including the off-brand toner that I put in my Brother printer, all the poly mailers, the cheapest options for tape and paper will all be in my Amazon storefront under supplies for selling your stockpile. That's linked in the description box down below. The next thing I want to get into is how to actually create your listings. Now, again, there's tons of YouTube tutorials on how to actually create your listings step by step and go through the process of titling, adding a description, and all the different category tags that you can add to your product. I would recommend searching YouTube on how to do that if you are lost and confused. There's tons of detailed tutorials. For taking your pictures, first you're gonna wanna make sure that the packaging on your product is all smoothed out and not bent up. You're gonna wanna make sure to wipe down your product if it has any dust on it. I know that shampoo bottles, for example, usually get kind of dusty on shelves a lot of the time, so I'll just make sure that they're all clean and they look good. And then I really recommend taking your photos with natural sunlight. So I take mine on my kitchen counter during the daytime. I allow the background natural light to shine through. My background is a white wall with white quartz countertops. I'll show you guys some examples of what my listing pictures look like. And that bright lighting and clean background is very appreciated by sellers. They just want the listing to look very clean, especially if you're selling personal care items, things that people are putting on their body. They just want to make sure that the seller's photos look really professional so they trust who they're buying from. Usually for my titling strategy, I put the full name of the product as it's labeled on the package. And then if I'm selling more than one of the item, I'll put bundle of 2, bundle of 3, bundle of 4. Usually how I list items is I will take photos of all the items that I get in 1 week from couponing. And then whenever I have some extra time one evening, I'll sit down and just mass list all of the photos that I have on my phone. Another important thing to know about selling on eBay is you are able to go on vacation mode under seller settings. So you can take your time off and either shut down your store, or there's another option where people can still purchase things, but it just shows that you're on vacation and will ship them once you get back. Let's go over a few real life examples of products that I've posted, how much I've listed them for, what the eBay fees were, what my shipping label fee was, and then what profit I was able to take home. First up, we have this Revlon Color Stay eyeliner. I know these normally sell for like $8, a little above $8 at Target and Walmart. So I decided to price this item at $7.99 with free shipping. In my head, I knew that this would range between 0 and 4 ounces. So it'd be the cheapest USPS Ground Advantage shipping category. So I knew the shipping would be around $3 to $4. So it looks like I ended up paying $1.45 in eBay transaction fees. Again, that is the 13.25% plus the 30-cent flat rate fee. And then I paid $3.66 for the shipping label, and my net profit was $2.88, which I was very happy with because I feel like if you sold that item at a garage sale, you'd probably get maybe $1 for it. And then just keep in mind that I do have to pay taxes on the profit of $2.88. Item number 2, this Eucerin Hydrating Cleansing Gel. I priced this around what it sells for at Target and Walmart at $10.99. I knew this would be under £1, but it would be in like one of the higher tiers, maybe the 8 to 12 ounce or 12 to 16 ounce category. It ended up getting sold for $10.99. I paid a $2.07 transaction fee, the eBay fee, and then my shipping label was $5.04, and I ended up making a net profit of $3.88, which is decent. This next item was a bundle of 2 of the Centrum men's vitamins, which brings me to another note. When you're taking pictures of your item, if it's something like toothpaste or vitamins or medicine, make sure that you also take a photo of the expiration date label and include it in the photos that you're listing so that the buyer can see when the item is expiring. This item I priced at $15.99, which was a little bit low. I think these sell for around $10 each at Walmart or Target. It sold for $15.99, had $2.42 in eBay fees, and I shipped this in a USPS Priority Mail flat rate envelope that cost $7.60. So the net profit was $5.97 on the 2 vitamins, which was pretty good. Now into some bigger items. So this was a bundle of 4 L'Oreal Elvive shampoo and conditioner. I priced it at $15.99. My thought process on that was like normally at CVS, it's on sale for 2 for $8, so I'll just price it around $16. This probably could have gone a little bit more expensive now, especially because with inflation, these are more expensive at the store than they used to be. But nevertheless, this sold for $15.99. I had $2.55 in eBay fees, and I shipped this in a Priority Mail flat rate padded envelope that cost $8.30, and I took home $5.14. So this is a perfect example where if I would have priced it, let's say $1 or $2 more, that would have been pure profit more. The eBay fee would have been slightly bigger, but it still would have been the same shipping method. So you really want to weigh having a really good price so items sell fast, and pricing items high enough so that you take home a decent amount of profit and you're happy with it at the end of the day. The last item was one of the bigger items that I sell. Like I said, the max size item that I ship is bundles of mouthwash and body wash. These are the biggest items and the items that weigh the most. So this was a bundle of 4 Olay body washes. I listed it, I remember, for $29.99. Someone made me an offer for $26.50, which I did accept. If I'm remembering correctly, this bundle weighed 7 pounds and some change. I ended up shipping it with USPS Ground Advantage in a fairly compact size box. I think I reused a box I got from buying something on Amazon. When I inputted the dimensions of the box and the weight of the products, it ended up charging me $8.06 for that shipping label, which is actually really good. It's cheaper than a flat rate padded envelope. And then I paid $4.05 in eBay fees. I made $14.39 profit on this order, which of course, again, taxes have to be taken out of it, but that was pretty good in my opinion for 4 body washes. So as you guys can see with the profit that I'm making, it's not crazy or anything. The fees and the shipping labels really eat into it. But you guys can kind of see what maybe you'd want to price things at. Maybe you want to price higher than I do so you make a little bit more profit. Things may sell slower, but when they do sell, you're making a significant amount more in profit. So now that you see the profit that I'm making on some of these items, you can kind of weigh whether or not it would be worth it to you to sell on eBay for your time, or maybe if you want to just save up your items and do an actual yard sale where you sell the items and sell them for really, really cheap. The profit would probably be fairly similar across the two, but with this, you can kind of get rid of items throughout the year and you don't have to save them up for a once a year yard sale. I hope this video helped you guys learn a little bit more about selling your couponing stockpile on eBay and everything that goes into it. If you are going to start your eBay journey, let me know in the comment section down below. And then if you have any more questions on eBay, definitely leave those in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Again, don't forget that you can use YouTube as a really great how-to source on how to do anything on eBay. If you guys have any questions specifically about shipping methods, I'd really recommend the YouTube channel Lindy Glenn. She's amazing at information on how to package your items and how to decide which shipping method that you're going to use to save the most amount of money. Make sure you like this video if you found it helpful, and make sure that you are subscribed, and you guys can follow me on all my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at kaylakoupons.